You've had a few days to reflect on the weekend, first defeat in a while. What would you say you learned from that result?
Move on to next weekend. Move on to Saturday. Gone. We're just looking forward to weather permitting, a really good game, big following at Farnborough, and ready to go.
I know I've chatted to you before after a previous loss, which was a while ago, but you said then it's kind of treated as a reset point for some of the players as to go again and show that you need to be on your game.
Yeah, listen, it was a day where they would never have scored if they'd have still been there now, if we hadn't have helped them out, and we didn't fire in a offensive capacity either. So it was 0-0 for me, written all over it. We didn't play particularly well, and we move on. Players are in good shape. I just think when it's such a long season and you see what's at stake and what's at the end of it, it's only natural that you can become a bit tense, become a little bit uptight, and it takes a hell of a lot to win a league. To become a champion, it takes a lot, and to do that, you have to have ups and downs along the way to recognise what's at the end of it and what that means, and we're in good shape.
Farnborough have drawn 3 on the trot. They don't concede many goals in recent times. What have you made of them so far this season?
I went to watch the other night. I drove up to Farnborough and watched that. They put in a really spirited performance against Chelmsford, got themselves in front. Could have lost it, could have easily won it. I know they've got some injury worries, but you know they played really well here against us. Really good setup, stadium, and like I say, weather permitting, it should be a cracking game.
We've spoken before about away support. How big an impact has that had this season for the travelling? With you going to these new stadiums, getting some of the experiences these players won't have seen before, having the away support from Yeovil fans coming along on the ride, how much has it meant to the club?
That means a lot to the club, but you know, we have some players that have played at reasonably big clubs and will be used to that support. So that's a plus, that it doesn't come as a shock to them, but we appreciate the support, and I think it'll only get bigger in the last sort of, what have we got, 11-12 games. The away support will only grow, I think.
The leg's going to be tested with 2 games in the space of 3 days. In terms of squad rotation, do you have the players available at the moment to make any big changes from Saturday into Monday, or do you think it's going to be a case of basically see how Saturday goes and go from there?
We have what we have. We've still only got sort of 16 players available. We've still got obviously lots of forward players injured. So all I know is that with our facilities and infrastructure, we'll have the chance to prepare probably better than the teams we're playing against. So we won't use that as an excuse that it's a Saturday, Monday. We will see that as an advantage, that we can prepare better than the opposition.
Aveley had a brilliant start to the season, kind of fallen away a bit so since then, but still a difficult test for you guys. What have you made of them as an opposition?
Well, they've started to come again. I think they've won their last few. They've put themselves back into the playoff slots, or certainly into the playoff picture. So makes it a tough game. It's a tough venue. It's a tough pitch. 3G pitch, tough one. So it's going to be difficult. But at this stage of the season, it's just about sleeves up, mock and bullets, and getting it done.
Do you and the players quite enjoy the quick turnaround in games and playing a few games in quick succession?
Like I said at the start of the season, we play whenever we got to play, wherever we got to play, on whatever surface. We'll do as we're told and thoroughly enjoy it.
And in terms of squad size, you've mentioned you've still got a tight-knit one. Any news on anyone coming back? Or is it still more or less the same side that went out at the weekend?
It'll be the same squad as the weekend. Obviously, Jordan Young got one more game. He'll be back for Aveley. Apart from that, we've still got obviously the 3 number 9s. They're all still injured.
Thank you very much and good luck for Saturday.
Thank you.
So, Mark, we've seen midweek elsewhere with types of contenders like Worthing. They've lost their manager midweek. How much of an impact do you think that could have, particularly on a team losing a manager like that mid-season who's had such an impact on a team like that?
Yeah, time will tell, I suppose. Sometimes it might give the players a lift. They might be sulking, or some of them might be thinking, I hope he takes me with him. So I think there'll be a mixture of that, and time will tell. They've got a big game on Monday night at Chelmsford. It's a big game in terms of the top of the league, so wait and see on that one.
And we've got, as we've been talking about fixture congestion, with Truro being scheduled for a Thursday night, coming out today that they'll be playing at Gloucester against Taunton. How do you feel about their current situation and Taunton's situation as well, with their potential scheduling coming up towards the end of the season as well?
I think it's an absolute shambles from the National League. I just don't understand what they're playing at. You know, it's so they allowed Truro to ground share at one of the worst pitches in the country, and when that becomes untenable, they allow them to ground share to the other worst pitch in the country, and then they're surprised that they can't play any games. I just don't understand the logic of that. And then they allow them to play on a different surface than you think you're going to play on. Again, on grass, you now have to go and play them on 3G. So I'm not sure whether that's allowed, where I think when you start the season, when you state you're playing on grass, you have to make sure you play on grass. I don't think you could change halfway through. So I think it's a complete shambles from the National League. I think they need looking at, and I think, like I say, a complete shambles for me. Shouldn't be allowed.
And moving from grass to
Did I make that clear?
Yes, absolutely. And with the subject of Saturday and Monday being touched on briefly as well, do you think you'll be staying up around that area with 2 away games in such a short space of time, or will we be travelling back to help prepare for the Monday?
No, we'll travel. We'll travel. We'll come back on Saturday and then prepare on Sunday and travel again on Monday. And
final question: we touched on the away support as well. Is there a message you'd like to send out to them with about 6 or 7 games left?
Just keep believing, keep backing the boys. When it's bad, even more get behind them. When it's good, it's easier. When it's bad, that's when we need you. And for me, that's the test of a true supporter, is when it's bad, you really back your team and make them feel good about themselves, which on the whole, they've done brilliantly this season. And looking forward to their away support for the rest of the season.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.